Be still for a moment, my child. Heaven has paused everything to reach you, in this very hour. A silent call is crossing the distance between my heart and yours. The veil is thin right now. The noise of your life has been pushed back so that one voice can come through. Clearly, mine, this is not a small window. Do not turn away. What I have to say to you today carries more weight than anything you have heard in a long time. I have tried to reach you before, certain that something was about to shift. You have stood in the middle of an ordinary day when a knowing washed over you that was anything but ordinary. You have felt a sudden stillness settle on your chest. I am not recounting this to shame you. I am telling you so you understand why today is different. Today I have arranged everything so that you could not miss me. The one who feels something stirring and cannot explain it. Your spirit recognizes my voice even when your mind is still deciding whether to believe. I come to you today carrying two words. One is a word of correction, and I will not soften it because you need to hear it whole. The other is a word of promise greater than anything you have dared to ask me for. Yes, my tone is firm today. There is a fire in my voice that you may not be used to. Do not mistake it. A father who says nothing while his child walks toward a cliff does not love that child. I love you too much to stay quiet. My firmness is the proof of it. That quiet tug you feel is not this message putting a thought into you. It is my spirit confirming what your heart has carried for days. You have been asking why your peace has felt unsettled, why your prayers have felt heavier in your mouth, why a low restlessness has followed you from morning to night. You told yourself it was nothing. It was not nothing. It was me pressing on your heart, refusing to let you drift another step without hearing from me. But understand this before anything else. It takes you by the hand, turns you around, and sets your feet back on solid ground. There is a difference, and by the time I finish speaking, you will know that difference in your bones. There is also more here than correction. Beyond this hard word lies a door I have been holding for you. Behind it waits favor you did not earn, restoration you stopped expecting, and a peace so deep it will feel unfamiliar at first. I will tell you about all of it. But the door is reached by one road, and that road passes through the truth. So I ask you plainly, will you stay? Will you let me say the hard thing and the beautiful thing in the same hour? Many hear my voice and pull away the moment it stops flattering them. You are looking for truth, and a heart that can receive truth is a heart I can trust with great things. That is rarer than you know. Something is moving already. While you listen, I am working. Pieces you cannot see are being set in place. What I began arranging long before this day is coming to its appointed time, and you are standing at the edge of it. Do not rush past this moment the way you have rushed past the others. Let it slow you down. Let it settle into the deep places where you actually live, beneath the surface where you perform for everyone else. I do not speak to the surface. I will begin with the hard word first, because truth delayed loses none of its weight, and when the hard word has done its work, declare your amen out loud. If you know this word has found the right heart, now hear the hard word. The decision became an act, and that act opened a door in the unseen realm that should have stayed shut. You could not see the door. At the thing that reached for you, at the slow ruin I could see waiting further down that road. A shepherd who sees a wolf circling does not whisper, I want you to notice something else. I do not correct what means nothing to me. The field a farmer ignores is the field he has given up on. The one he walks, prunes, and clears is the one he expects a harvest from. You are being corrected because you are valued. This firm word is the surest evidence that I have not let you go. Let me also tell you what this mistake did not do. It did not cancel your calling. It did not lower your worth by one measure. It did not make me love you less. And it did not make me look away from you. What it changed was your direction. And direction is what I have come to set right. A traveler on the wrong road is not worthless. He is simply headed somewhere. It interrupted the flow of what I was building in your life. You felt it at once. That shift inside where peace became unsettled, and clarity turned to fog. That was your spirit telling the truth. even while your mouth stayed silent. The greatest danger in front of you now is not the mistake itself. It is pride. Pride will tell you this word is for someone else. Pride will tell you it was not so serious, that everyone does it, that you can manage it on your own. Pride has led stronger souls than you into places they never return from. Do not let it speak for you today. There is a heaviness resting on you as you hear this. I know you feel it. It is not meant to crush you. I have made it that clear because I refuse to let you miss it. So a choice now stands in front of you, and I will name it plainly. You can humble yourself, hear me out, and let me lead you back, or you can harden, turn away and walk on in your own strength. I will not force you, and silence is a poor guide in the dark. The fact that you are still listening tells me which road your heart is leaning toward. That leaning matters more to me than the stumble ever did. I am not searching the earth for people who never fall. I am searching for the ones who, hearing my voice, stop mid-step and turn. You are turning right now, even if it feels small. And he covered it, and for a season he called the covering peace. But when my word finally cornered him, he did not argue. He said 4 words. I have sinned against you, and that broken honesty opened the way for mercy that his crown never could have purchased. Just the plain truth spoken from the plain heart, with nothing hidden behind your back. That is where every restoration in the history of my people has begun. And yours will begin no differently. There is still much I need to show you. I will show you exactly how to close the door that was open. I will show you the pattern beneath this stumble so it never rules you again. And then, when the ground is clear, I will tell you what I have been waiting to pour into your life. Stay with me. The turning has already begun. Whisper right now. Before I say another word, speak it where I can see it. Type Amen in the comments below if you know this word has found the right heart. I am listening if you receive this correction with an open heart. Now I will show you the way back step by step. And I ask you to follow each one without skipping ahead. Name what happened fully, without a single excuse attached. Do not dress it up, and do not shrink it down. What is faced in the light loses its power to hide in the shadows. Release the voice inside you that keeps explaining why it happened. Justification is a chain wearing the costume of a comfort. As long as you defend the thing, you remain tied to the thing. And the truth is something I already know, and have already made a way through. The second step is to turn your attention back to me deliberately, not casually. Do not merely think of me in passing the way you think of the weather. Come to me on purpose. Speak to me plainly, in your own words, as you would speak to a father you trust. Then be still, and let the stillness do its slow, deep work. It is a weight I never asked you to carry, and it binds you to a moment I have already dealt with. I am not holding this over you. Do not hold it over yourself. If I have released you, who are you to keep yourself in chains? Lift your head. The account has been settled, not by your suffering but by my mercy. Your sorrow had its hour, and did its work. The turning empties your hands of what was never yours to hold. The blessing fills them with what always was. Understand the difference between a mistake and a pattern, because everything ahead depends on it. A mistake is a single stumble on the road. A pattern is a road of its own. Walk so many times the feet no longer ask where they are going. What happened to you was a stumble, but I saw the pattern forming underneath it. And that is the deeper thing I am healing today. This was not the first time you felt that inner hesitation and stepped past it. You remember the other times even now. Each one seems small. But small compromises are seeds too, and they grow in the dark just as faithfully as good seed grows in the field. I am pulling this one up while the root is still shallow. That is not harshness. Notice how quickly your mind wants to move on from this word, to distract you, to change the subject, to check on something else. That restlessness is not an accident. Growth is delayed whenever distraction replaces reflection. I speak in the thought that arrives with calm instead of pressure. You have heard me many more times than you realize. The work now is learning to know that voice so well that no counterfeit can imitate it. But even my hard words arrive on steady ground. When peace is present, you may move. When peace lifts, stop where you stand. I created time, and I am never late within it. When something true is from me, it survives a pause. What cannot survive a pause was counting on your haste, and anything that counts on your haste fears your clarity. So build the pause into your life. Be still for a moment, and ask me. Not every pause needs an hour. Sometimes one honest breath is enough for the fog to lift. The mistake we have dealt with today happened in the space where that pause should have been. Guard that space from now on as you would guard a treasure, because that is what it is. Now hear me about your attention, because your attention is the gate of your whole life. Whatever you behold, you become shaped by. Does this leave me nearer to my Father or further away? You will find the answer surprisingly quick to come. You have always known what has been missing is not discernment but decision. Some things will need to be stepped away from. That inner voice has been harsher to you than any enemy and harsher than I have ever been. It calls you a failure where I call you my child. It rehearses your worst day on an endless loop while I have already thrown that record away. Now a word about discipline, because the word has been soured for you, and I want to restore its taste. Discipline is not restriction. Discipline is consistency, nothing more. It is choosing the same right thing on the gray ordinary days that you chose on the shining ones, yet unmovable after the years have done their work. Every time you pause and ask me, the root goes deeper. Every time you turn from the wrong voice, the trunk thickens. When much will turn on a single decision, doors will stand open that must be entered without hesitation. Other doors will stand open that must be refused without a second look. On those days, the skill you are learning now will be worth more than silver. This is why the correction came when it did, not because your stumble was too great for mercy. The fog you carried into this hour has thinned. That clearing is not something these words did on their own. It is what always happens when a heart turns back toward home. Alignment returns and peace walks in behind it without being begged. Hold what you are feeling right now and do not let the day steal it. This clarity is not a visitor. If this word is landing exactly where you needed it, tap the like button now. Let it be a small act of faith that says you are receiving this with an open heart. Why has it taken so long? Why them and not me? Why do the ones who never sought you seem to run past me while I stand still? You watched people who started long after you arrived, long before you. You clapped at their celebrations with an ache behind your smile. You spoke blessing over them with a voice that did not shake. And there were harder nights than those. Nights you wondered if you had misheard me all those years ago. Nights you turned the old promise over in your hands like a coin you could no longer spend. Think of a field lying fallow through a long winter to every passing eye. It is doing nothing. It is doing some of the most important work of its life. Your hidden years were not empty years. They were fallow years, and there is a difference as wide as the harvest. The builder sees a foundation and calls it wisdom. The higher the walls are meant to rise, the longer the unseen work must take. Measure your years of obscurity by that rule and read them again. And those doors that closed against you, the ones you pounded on until your hands ached, you grieved them as losses. Some of them you have grieved for years. But I was on the other side of those doors, and I saw what stood behind them. There is love in a refusal that you can only see from further down the road. As for the ones who ran past you, release them. Their road is not your road, and their harvest is not your harvest. Here is what those years actually built, since you could not see the ledger. They built a compassion in you that comfort could never have produced. You notice the overlook now because you know that seat. They built an endurance that does not snap at the first contrary wind. They built a way of trusting me with empty hands that people who were filled early never had to learn. These are not consolation prizes. Sometimes barely, but you stayed. Do you know how rare that is? Many walked away from me over lighter disappointments than yours. You carried yours into my presence again and again and kept speaking to me from underneath it. The fallow season is closing, not winding down over years closing. The field has rested long enough. The foundation is cured and will hold the weight it was dug for. What I set in motion before you ever knew to ask for it is arriving at its appointed hour. and no hand in heaven or on earth is able to hold it back now. This is why the correction could not wait. This is why I interrupted you today of all days, and why my voice has carried such fire. A man may drift in the middle of a long flat road and lose little. He must not drift at the bend. You are at the bend, my child, everything I have taught you in this hour. The honesty, the pause, the guarded gait, the steady discipline, all of it was fitted for what stands just ahead of you. I know the years have taught your heart to flinch at hope. I know you have braced yourself so many times only to stand down again. So I am not asking you to work up a feeling. I am asking for something smaller and far greater. Take my word for it against the evidence of the years on the strength of my voice alone. The way a sailor trusts the star he cannot touch. State, I trust you if you are ready to take my word over the evidence of the years. Then hear what is coming, because I do not send my children toward a horizon without telling them what to look for. The blessing I have prepared arrives in 3 streams. Listen carefully to each one so that when they reach you, you will recognize my hand and not call it luck. The first stream is sudden favor. This is when doors begin opening that you never knocked on. You will offer a small thing expecting nothing, and it will return to you carrying a yes you had stopped waiting for. A conversation that seems ordinary will turn in a single sentence into the connection your path required. People who never noticed you will find you on their minds and not know why, but you will know why. I go ahead of my children. I speak their names in rooms they have not yet entered. I incline hearts the way a farmer turns water into a dry channel. What years of striving could not force open, one appointed moment will when it happens. Do not stand there doubting at the threshold, recognize it. Thank me and walk through. The second stream is restoration, and this one runs deeper than you expect. It is rising again, and it rises in a wiser form fitted to who you have become rather than who you were when you first dreamed it. Some mendings will find you too. A voice gone quiet may reach out, but what belongs to your path will find its way home. The third stream will surprise you most because you have lived without it so long you have forgotten its taste. Deep peace, the tight band across your chest that you have carried so long you now call it normal. The knot beneath your ribs that never fully unwinds. You will notice the change in small ways first. A morning will come when you wake, and the dread that usually greets you simply is not there. A situation that once seized your whole body will pass over you like weather that no longer touches the house. You will wait for the old fear to arrive on schedule, and it will not arrive. That absence will be my presence, and that accusing voice, the one that has trailed you for years telling you that you are too late, too flawed, too far behind, not your whole harvest at once. Harvests do not come that way, but the first fruit, the early sign, the unmistakable touch of my hand that tells you the weather of your life has changed. When you see it, remember this hour and remember that I named it before it came. Give as one who has been given to. What you pour out for my supply I count as poured out to me, and I am no man's debtor. That is how my kingdom has always moved. Pressed down, shaken together, running over, you have known lack too long to hoard. Let your abundance make you generous the way your hunger once made you compassionate, and the stream will never run dry above your field. One caution, and receive it as tenderly as I speak it. When favor comes quickly, the old pattern will whisper again. It will tell you that you no longer need the pause, the stillness, the daily returning to me. Keep the same nearness in harvest that you learned in famine, and this blessing will not become a snare, for the goal was never the streams. My beloved, the goal was always the fountain. Favor is a good servant and a poor guard. If ever you must choose between what fills your hands and what fills your soul, choose me, and you will find that in choosing me you have lost nothing worth keeping. That is the secret the truly blessed all carry. They hold everything lightly except my hand. It concerns who you are to me and what I am sending you to do. Stay with me a little longer and receive the last of it. Here is the last truth, and it is the ground beneath every other word I have spoken today. You are chosen, not favored in a vague way, not merely tolerated, not one face lost in a crowd of faces, chosen deliberately by name for a purpose that fits no other life but yours. Being chosen is not a decoration. It is an assignment. There is work on this earth with your name on it. Good work prepared in advance for you to walk in. Comfort was never the final purpose of this word. Commissioning is. Think of who I have chosen before and take courage from the pattern. I have never chosen the polished. I choose the willing. And then I do the polishing myself, often through the very corrections they thought would disqualify them. Keep the honesty we built today. Let no hidden thing take root in you again. Keep the pause. There will be a moment when urgency shouts at you to move before you have listened. These are not signs of my absence. They are the examinations that follow every true lesson, and you will pass them because you will not face them as the person you were. If peace holds, walk on. If peace lifts, stand still though the whole world calls you a fool for standing. I have never once failed the one who waited for me, and I will not begin my failures with you. And when you stumble, for even the upright stumble, do not vanish from me for weeks the way you used to. That is the old pattern, and it dies today. Come at once, come mid-fall if you can. The door between us is not locked from my side, and it never has been. A child who runs home immediately with the truth in his mouth is dearer to me than one who hides until the shame ferments into distance. Watch too how you carry yourself among others now. The chosen do not strut, and they do not grovel. There will be those near you, the ones you carry in prayer, the ones you love, whose names you have laid before me more often than your own. I have heard every mention of them. Nothing entrusted to me is mislaid. The wrong turn is confessed and covered. The door that was opened is shut and sealed. The pattern beneath it is named and broken. The years that shamed you have been read to you rightly as fallow ground and deep foundation, not as failure. The three streams are on their way: favor, restoration, and peace, and the first evidence comes before this season turns. Above all this, you are chosen, and the assignment is real. That is the whole word. What remains is the living of it, and the living begins the moment my voice falls silent. In the first small choice you make, in the first pause you keep, in the first honest sentence you speak to me tonight in your own words. Begin there. Begin small. I will meet you in it as I have met you here. And should the dark ever try to tell you this hour never happened, that it was only imagination, before we go further, think of one person carrying the same weight you carried into this hour. Share this video with them right now. What is being poured into you today is meant to reach them too. This word was not sent to leave the moment it ends. Type amen in the comments if you receive it. Like this video if it has spoken directly to your heart, and share it with someone who needs to hear that they are still chosen, still loved, still held.